After about 1.2 million vehicles recalled, after lawsuits associated with those recalls, after boatloads of bad press about those recalls, all of that since March, 4 months ago, there was one thing connected to all of these recalls that I'm not hearing anybody talk about, and I don't get it. And before I start any critical rant about GM, I always have to preface it by stating that I am not a GM insider, I'm not an automotive insider, I'm not an automotive journalist. I don't sit in on meetings. I don't have any information as to what goes on behind closed doors. It's not publicly reported. So if any of my information is incorrect, out of date, whatever, let me know in the comments because I love being right. Now, with that being said, why is it that no one of any real influence has publicly put GM CEO Mary Barra's feet to the fire over these recalls? So just a couple of days ago, 40,000 Blazer EVs were recalled because of a faulty wiring harness that could cause the e-brake to malfunction and lead to possibly a crash. 62,000 Silverado HDs, not long before that, were recalled because of a faulty brake pressure sensor assembly that could create a fire risk. Then, prior to that, 550,000 cars and trucks recalled because of the transmission control valve body being made of faulty materials, which could cause the transmission to lock up during operation, and their wonderful solution for that to start with was a software patch to let you know when it might fail within 10,000 miles. But then there's the big one, the one that got the most attention, the one that is probably the most messed up. 600,000 L87 V8 engines recalled because of faulty materials, basically, in the connecting rods and the crankshaft. And basically these engines they just go bad. Fun fact about that, I've even read that some of those that have gotten replacement engines have found that those engines ain't much better. I mean, this is a horrible, horrible quality track record for GM that needs all the help it can get. And this is just since March, 4 months. And basically, if you're a truck company that can't build a truck that won't run, where the engine won't break, die, if you can't get 200,000 miles at least, should be 400,000 out of an engine, as a manufacturer, you're probably fucked. And I've read a ton of articles on a lot of these recalls. They all say pretty much the same thing, but you know what they don't say? They don't say anything about what Mary Barra is saying about them, or what the articles are saying about Mary Barra not saying about them. Where's the criticism for her? I can't find interviews regarding these recalls with Mary Barra. I can't find videos where she's doing a press conference or making a public statement about these recalls and the lawsuits that are coming with them. The only thing that seems to come up when you search for Mary Barra in regards to comments on GM vehicle recalls is her Senate committee, or maybe it was a House committee testimony about the ignition switches that GM let go for 10 years without doing anything about. For one, that was fucked up. That should never have happened. And GM knows it because they very quietly expedited the then CEO Dan Akerson's retirement because of his wife's advanced stage cancer. That was in January 2014, and by March of 2014, he was working for the Carlyle Group. So you do the math on that one. Now, I did find one statement said to be from Mary Barra directly related to the L87 V8 recall. And it comes from the Google AI overview. I can't even find a specific article where this statement is supposedly in, but it says, and I got notes here, so I got to read it. She has acknowledged the issue, which involves the connecting rod and crankshaft components, and stated the GM is taking steps to resolve it. Oh, happy day. I even tried very specific search terms. Mary Barra comments on V8 recall. And I thought I had a hit on that one, but it turns out it was just an article where she was patting herself on the back over the billion-dollar investment they're putting in the next-gen V8 engine. I hope they have better components in that one.
Well, we still believe in an all-EV future. I mean, I think EVs are fundamentally better. We have work to do to continue to get battery technology to give us greater density so we have farther range. We need to have a robust charging infrastructure. But having a next-gen V8 engine was always part of our plan because this next engine will give the consumer more performance as well as more fuel efficiency.
Hopefully I'm not the only one that sees it this way, but historically, when an organized business entity that produces a product does badly, quality control issues, poor financially, whatever, after some lower level restructuring or stuff is addressed, if things don't improve, the responsibility of said failure typically falls upon the leadership, the big bosses. I mean, other car companies have taken action when people at that level have failed. Tesla got rid of their co-founder. Production delays and cost overruns and just basically poor financial performance. Mark Fields got booted out of Ford in 2017 because of poor sales and just a bad financial outlook. And it's not like GM hasn't fired a CEO before because things are going badly. They got rid of Roger Smith. I'm sorry. He was pressured to retire because of poor sales and the loss of market share. So this isn't something new when something is going badly. And 1.2 million vehicles recalled with lawsuits in the last 4 months, to me, qualifies as something badly. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, but there has to be a financial hit, right? I mean, it's not just the last 4 months has been a problem. I have to point out about every Chevy Bolt ever made from 2017 to 2023 was recalled because the batteries might catch fire. And I bring that up because the electrification of GM, that's her baby. She spearheads that crap.
Well, we still believe in an all-EV future. I mean, I think EVs are fundamentally better.
The way this thing is going, you would think by now the board of directors would be drafting her severance package for her retirement, wink, wink. One would think that the next shareholders meeting would be a bloodbath of people calling for her retirement, wink, wink, metaphoric head on a platter. But will they, though? I mean, she's not the one down at the loading dock inspecting the shipments of connecting rods and crankshaft and doing the metallurgy to find out if those components are worth a crap or not. Fun fact about those components, the supplier for the problem crankshafts and connecting rods. Connecting rods come from a company called American Axle and Manufacturing, and the crankshafts come from a company, I can't think of the name. It starts with a Q. They're from Mexico. I bring that up because in a cruel twist of fate, you know, GM has that Supplier of the Year award, and they have like 16 or 20 suppliers that they list as their Suppliers of the Year, and there are a few other ones that get their Special Overdrive Award. Guess who got the Overdrive Award for 2 or 3 of the affected model years of the connection rod problem? You guessed it, American Axle and Manufacturing. And then that company out of Mexico got a Supplier of the Year award for their crankshafts for 2021, I believe it was. So, irony, so thick you can smell it. But Mary Barra herself, she's not the one down there inspecting these things to make sure it's top-notch materials. And let's be honest, she's not the one down on the manufacturing floor putting these things together, making sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted and every bolt is tightened to spec and every voltage is right. And she's not the software engineer making sure that every bit of code is doing what it's supposed to. She's not at the battery manufacturing plant to make sure each one of those prismatic cell batteries being put together just right and making sure the battery management system is up to spec.
Well, we still believe in an all-EV future.
She's not physically doing these things, so I guess she's not responsible if they fail, right? Now let's go back to those previous examples. Basically, everybody I mentioned was fired because of financial reasons, primarily. In the last 5 years, the stock price, as of today, as I am recording this, is double what it was 5 years ago. If you're a shareholder collecting dividends and whatnot, and your stock price is $23 more than it was 5 years ago, I don't care what type of product recalls you're giving. If the money is still coming in, I guess you don't care. I guess Mary Barra gets a hall pass from the shareholders and the board of directors and everybody else, as long as her superior business acumen, I guess, is bringing in the money. I guess that has to be it. I guess if they're making the money, it doesn't matter. How they're bringing in money operating this way, I don't know. It defies logic to me that they are living and dying by the recall, apparently. She came in the middle of the biggest recall, and I guess that's how she thinks it's supposed to operate, and they make money. And the stock price is going up, so through some sort of creative accounting voodoo or something, it's working out for them, I guess. Through this way of operating that just seems to defy all logic, through it all, Mary Barra has become the longest tenured General Motors CEO since Albert P. Sloan, who ran the company from 1923 to 1946. Since 1946, nobody has been CEO longer at GM than Mary Barra. And looking how things are going just from my outside perspective, I don't get that. How can they operate this way and just let her keep going? I mean, I am sure there are pertinent things that I don't know about. Some stuff behind closed doors. Maybe there is an aggressive discussion going on up there at the big building in Detroit. I don't know. I'd love to find out. Let me know in the comments if you know, because this is just boggling my mind. If you agree, disagree, again, comment below. I'd love to talk about it, but till next time, I'm JR, and I am out.
Well, we still believe in an all-EV future.